Well, what is going on, everybody? It's Steven here and welcome back to another China phone review. Today we're going to have a look at the Siswoo Cooper i7 from efoxshop.com. Well, Siswoo, you probably know that name because they just came up with a monster phone a couple of months ago, the Siswoo R8. And this phone was really great. MTK 6595, 3GB of RAM, cool design, but it's very expensive and it retails for something like $280 to $300. So now they just came up with a new device, the Cooper i7, and it's half the price, so it retails currently for $150 or something like this on efoxshop.com. You can find the link down below. And it comes with the MTK 6752 Octa core, well, a bit boring design, but pretty good features, pretty good build quality. And today we're going to find out if it's worth the money, if you should get the R8, the i7, or a whole different device, but today we're going to find out if it's good or not, and I would say let's get directly started, let's have a look at the specs and then let's do a quick unboxing. Well, so as I've said before, the Cooper i7 comes with lower specs than the R8, but if you keep in mind that it retails for only $150, then it's still a pretty good device. So let's talk about the specs. Now it comes with a 5-inch HD IPS screen, and it's definitely IPS because the colors and viewing angles, they're looking good. Then it also comes with an 8-megapixel rear camera with autofocus and a 5-megapixel front-facing camera. The chipset is the MTK 6752, so it features a octa-core processor running at 1.5 GHz with 64-bit support. And yeah, the MTK 6595 also supports 64-bit, most phones there come with Android Lollipop, but you can see that this phone here actually just ships out of KitKat. It supports GPS, AGPS, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, 2GB of RAM plus 16GB of ROM. Then there's also Notify Light, so you don't have a notification LED, it uses the home button actually, which lights up if you get a message or something. Cool feature, but quite annoying because mine lights up all the time. And I couldn't find the setting to deactivate that, so this is a bit annoying. Then here you can also see the frequencies, so we have quad band on GSM, we have triple band on 3G, but there's also different 3G frequency like TDD-LTE, like B34, B39, and you really have to ask your provider in your country which 2G, 3G and 4G frequencies your provider is using in your local area. That's very important because maybe 3G is not working, but yeah, 4G is working. This really depends. So make sure you just ask your provider, then you check the frequencies, and then you check the frequencies in the description of the smartphone you want to buy if it really works in your country. Now in my country, every China phone is working, but for instance in the USA, some people have the problem that, for instance, 3G is not working because missing bands, and this is hardware related. That means you cannot flash the bands or something. This is not possible. It's a dual SIM, dual standby phone, and it comes with dual 4G. That means it doesn't matter which SIM card slot you're using, you have 4G on both, and that's pretty cool. Now 2100 mAh battery, but the battery seems to be very thin, so I'm not really sure if this is correct, and the battery lifetime of that phone, could be better. Android 4.4 KitKat, Bluetooth 4.0, a couple of sensors like gravity, distance, light and magnetism sensor. Basically that all the specs, and that's what you get for about $150. Then now I would say let's do a quick unboxing. So there we go guys, here you can see the box in which the phone arrived, and let's have a look on what we can find inside of the box. First of all, you will find a smartphone and a screen protector, and under that cardboard thing here you can find all the accessories. Now the accessories are very basic, so we have here a charger, and the charger looks okay. Now plastic, very lightweight, the USB port is straight in, that's good, not really some gaps here in the case, so looks okay. The output is 5 volts and 1 amp, so a 5-watt charger, very default, comes with the correct power socket connector for your country, so you don't have to worry about adapters or something. Then here you can see a headset, and well, I've seen that headset on a lot of China phones, and this is some very low quality headset, so if you want to listen to music, get yourself some good in-ears or something, because this doesn't sound too good. And I've seen that model here several times, so here you can see the speakers, everything plastic. It comes with a remote control with microphone. Microphone is actually not too bad. Then here in the background you can also see the 3.5mm connector to connect it to your smartphone, and that's the whole headset. Now the quality is not the best, but it's cheap and it's working. Okay, now here you can see the micro USB charging cable. It's also in black, just like the other accessories. It's not gold plated, so a normal micro USB charging cable, nothing special. You can use it to connect it to the computer or to charge it with the wall socket. No issues so far, it's not falling apart. Quality not the best, so it could be better, but hey, the price of the phone is very cheap. Okay, now that's basically everything you can find inside of the box, and now let's go and let's have a look at the smartphone. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the Siswoo i7. Feels pretty good in my hands. It's not too big for a 5-inch smartphone, but the screen is very glossy, at least with the screen protector here, but I would keep it on the smartphone because I'm not sure if it's Gorilla Glass. I think not. I think it's just plastic. Well, then here you can see it's a 720p screen, but I think 720p looks quite good here on that smartphone. It's a good panel and 720p is not always bad. Better battery lifetime, frame rate, well, looks kinda good in my opinion, and for the price, nothing to worry about. At the bottom we have here the capacitive home button, which is also that notification light. You can see it's pulsating. I hope I just say that correctly. And left and right we have the menu button and the back button. Then here you can see the frame, so it's not too thick, that's something I like. Phone is also a bit slimmer than some other smartphones in this category. Here at the top the speaker, then here the front facing camera, which has a very small lens, we'll later see the quality, and also the sensors like light and proximity. Now the frame is plastic, the whole phone is actually plastic, even though it maybe looks a little bit like metal here, but no. All plastic, and the buttons, they are placed on the right side of the frame. Like we have here the power button, above the power button the volume rockers, and now on the other side there is nothing. Then let's have a quick look here at the bottom side. So here you can see the bottom microphone to do calls, that's really working, and that's the one and only microphone on that smartphone. The frame here kind of thin, so you can see the back cover is a bit curved. It makes the phone a bit thicker then. On the back cover we can see the Siswoo logo, and if you have a look at the bottom, then you will see here the speaker and the 4G LTE logo. Now I think it would look better without it, but yeah, that's the design. Here the dual LED flash, which is really a dual LED flash, but in my opinion kinda weak. The rear camera, and above the rear camera we can see that strange hole. Not sure why there's a hole in there, but maybe we'll find it out a bit later. Now here you can see the micro USB port to charge the smartphone, and also here at the top the 3.5mm headphone jack to connect the headset or headphones. All in all, I like the design. It's very simple, a bit boring, but yeah, the build quality looks kinda nice, and I don't really care about the design as long as it's well built. So the overall design of the smartphone looks kinda good, well built. The back cover comes off very hard. I'm not sure what they mean with vacuum plate back cover or something. Probably that there comes no dust in the smartphone, so you can see it's perfectly sealed, but not waterproof or something. Don't even try that. I'm still not sure what the hole here at the top is. I opened it up, it looks like it could be a secondary microphone, so I would have to check it out a bit later. The display, very nice, it's bright, and also outside here, so when the sun is shining, you have no problem to read the whole screen. Only annoying thing, that notification light thingy here, it really lights up all the time. You should disable that, maybe in the sound or display settings, so I have to have a look at that, because really, I always have something in the background and it's always on. It's annoying. And I think a multicolor notification LED is better. So let's go guys, let's see what this phone has got under the hood. As you can see, the display is completely black when it's turned off. That looks very good. Then now let's go and let's remove the back cover. We can do it right over here, but the back cover comes off very hard. Now it's very tough and you have to apply a lot of force in order to get it off. Maybe they meant this with the vacuum plate, or I don't know how to call that, but yeah, it protects your phone pretty good from dust. Here you can see the battery, it's also removable, but well, the battery is very thin, very small, so I think a bit bigger than the Yumi Hammer battery, but just a little bit, so 2100 could be realistic, maybe a bit less, like 2000, and the battery lifetime in my tests was barely a day, but you know, I have display time on 30 minutes, I use it very often, so probably if you're a slight to medium user, you should be able to come through a day. Then here you can see the model sticker. It's very small on this one and placed here in the left bottom corner. Here also, for instance, the quality check sticker. Then here you can see the bottom speaker. Speaker quality, well, average, and it's very loud, actually, in my opinion. Here you can see the first SIM card slot, it's a micro SIM card slot, here a regular size SIM card slot, and both SIM card slots support 4G. Here also the micro SD card slot, the dual LED flash, which is a bit weak, the rear camera, and the two antennas, the one here in the left corner, one in the right top corner. Okay guys, so basically that is how the smartphone looks like without the battery and the cover. All in all, pretty well built, and now let's see how it performs in Android. We're now here on the smartphone in Android KitKat, and well, unfortunately this is no Lollipop, even though the hardware would be definitely enough for Lollipop. But well, you can see it's quite snappy, the launch is okay, the RAM consumption of the ROM is not too high, it's not laggy. And now I would say let's go to about the phone and let's check out here everything. So you can see the Android version. So this is definitely KitKat, not spoofed, so no fake lollipop, that's pretty good. And we can see here model number, we can even see here wireless update. Once again here the capacitive buttons at the bottom, so you see the backlight is really super awesome. It's very bright in here, but you can see the backlight here looks outstanding. That's very nice, but I don't like the notification thing here. So, oh, the lock screen also looks different. But well, let's have a look at the other stuff here. Now, wireless update. So I cannot tell you if they're frequently Octas, but Siswoo is now well known actually, so I guess you will see some wireless updates, but I will ask the factory if they provide a lollipop update and I will let you know that. But I think Siswoo already announced the update, but I'm not sure, please count me on that, because it currently ships out of KitKat and that's everything I can see. Now connected to my home network with Wi-Fi, that looks kinda good. Let's see which link speed we can get, I guess 65 Mbits. Well, yeah, that's mostly the maximum I get here. For instance, my Galaxy S6 just pushes out the maximum of my router with 165 Mbits. Okay, Bluetooth, and here under more the usual stuff, so also USB tethering and everything in there. Now we have here gesture sensing, and that's also pretty cool because, for instance, we have here the proximity sensor for the launcher, phone, flip to mute is also supported, and you can even use unlock gestures. Another good thing is that this phone here ships out with one big partition. Some Chinese factories, they just part the memory, and it's totally stupid to have a partition limit on such a small memory. So 16 GB today is almost nothing. If you have a bit music, movies, some bigger games, then it's already full. So get yourself a SD card, and 64 gigs are absolutely no problem here on that smartphone, and I guess 128 too. Battery stats. Well, you can see here I'm only 3 hours on battery and, well, 43%. So I had a lot of screen on time right now. I was using GPS, I did some other benchmarks, so you cannot count me on that. But I can say that I can barely get through one day because I'm a heavy smartphone user. But medium to slight user, so if you just use it to check your emails, if you're not constantly looking at your smartphone, then one day shouldn't be a problem. Here running apps in the background, 1.1 GB used, and we have 816 MB free, but that's the KitKat ROM. Now, I guess the Lollipop Octa will come soon, so probably I have some time to test it out, but I think I will just give away that smartphone. Okay, now we have here Smart Wake, that's also working, but I'm not using it. I think it's pretty cool that you can just double tap home button or the display to power it on. Probably that's the most useful feature, but I don't use those gestures to wake it up, like C for the camera or something. I think quite useless. Okay, yeah, that's basically everything you can find here in the settings. Then now let's go back and let's have a look at the other features. We can just have a quick look at the Android status bar. And in there you should see your notifications. We have here the quick toggles, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, and also a cast screen button. Here everything is working and it's not bugged. Oh yeah, so now let's just go and let's check out all the basic features, like for instance here the dial application. And we can just try to call here some very popular number. Maybe my Austrian friends will know it. And well, there we go. Roaming warning, very common on China phones, and you can disable that in the settings, and you should definitely do that. Okay, so you can see the sensors are working. The speaker quality, I think it's very, very good because it's loud. From the quality, it's a bit, yeah, it could be a bit better at maximum volume. It sounds a bit strange, but from the loudness here, it's way better than any cheap China phone I have here. Okay, you can see I'm connected to 3G, so we'll later do a speed test, and I currently don't have a 4G LTE contract, but trust me, it will definitely work with this chipset, and I will get one soon. And yeah, typing on the smartphone feels pretty good. Default messaging app here, it's a 5-point capacitive touchscreen, and the force feedback, so the vibration feedback comes from the bottom, feels also kinda good and not cheap. We can just, for instance, go here to a web page, msn.com, so there we go. Well, browsing works pretty good, but I'm now connected to Wi-Fi, but we'll do the 3G speed test anyway. Okay, maybe the live wallpaper with the screen timeout was draining it so fast. But well, let's have a look here, for instance, at the camera. So that's the first important application. Then now let's go outside and once again, let's do a quick camera test. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen, outside in my garden. The lighting today, well, it's very cloudy, but it should be enough. Now you can see the camera is not laggy, but I've seen the pictures on the computer and well, they are a bit blurry, and the overall quality, I would say it's okay for $150, but for instance Ulefone, which is retails for the same price, let's say it like this, comes with a way better camera, like the Ulefone Be Pure, most beautiful camera on a $130 phone I've ever seen. But yeah, we can just switch it to the front-facing camera. I think the front-facing camera is super awesome, and you can see it's really wide angle, you get everything on the picture. You can also switch to 16:9 there, and the front-facing camera looks really good, also the colors and everything. But the rear camera is just average, nothing more actually. And I really have to say front-facing camera is nice. So you can see also here 5 megapixels in 4:3 or 4 and 16:9. We can do the same then on the rear camera. So let's just go back, guys. And as always, I will upload you the samples. Unfortunately, the upload on China devices is still bugged, and you know, I'm a one-man army except of the shop, so it's really hard to fix everything, produce videos, so I'll just upload it to 4Shared or something. Now let's capture some photos. You can see how they look like. Maybe the colors look a bit strange currently because of my camera, but well, you can find the samples down below. We have a video mode working, we can zoom in, so we have 4x zoom maximum, and yeah, that's basically it. Then the new MTK phones, they also come with the new camera application, which supports a few more features, as you can see here. Then we can just have a quick look, for instance, at the picture size. The maximum is 8 megapixels in 16:9. That's pretty good because it's also the maximum like here in 4:3. Okay, yeah, that's the rear camera. We have a video mode, noise reduction, EIS, and you can set the video quality here to fine, and we'll later then capture a sample video. Now here at the bottom we have the effect, so that's basically also a new feature here on the new MTK phones, and we have here those hipster filters, everything, but actually nothing special, because if you install a different camera application you get the same. Alright guys, now here's a quick video test of the back camera on the Siswoo i7 Cooper. And well, it looks a bit blurry on the smartphone, but just check for yourself how it looks on the computer, because yesterday I tested a different smartphone and it also looked blurry on the smartphone, but then on the computer it was actually quite okay. Now here in the background it looks like, yeah, it would be quite blurry, but just check it out for yourself how objects look which are more far away, like the houses here in the background. And the colors, yeah, they look okay, looks actually quite natural. We can just have a look at my test flower right over there, so let's go. And as I told you in the last video, this should be actually pink. Maybe looks a bit too purple here, but well, that's the display of the smartphone. Just check for yourself how it looks on the computer. And I'll also do some test photos here in my gardens and upload them to chinadevices.com so you can see how it looks like. Now the camera maybe feels a bit laggy. This is due to EIS, so electronic image stabilization, but it looks okay here on the smartphone. But yeah, let's just check out together then on the computer how it looks like, and I'll tell you my opinion on it. Now here's a quick front-facing camera test on the Siswoo Cooper i7, and I have to say the front-facing camera looks actually very good. Now it's really wide angle, not zoomed in like for instance some cheap iPhone clones, and I almost get the whole car here on the screen, so that's really good. Now it's not laggy, as you can see I'm currently driving, absolutely nice. And also the color, so my skin tone, then the green tones, everything here looks actually very good. And I'm happy with the front-facing camera, so the face tracking works. You can see that rectangular box around my face. Actually only I can see it, but front-facing camera looks definitely good on the Siswoo Cooper i7. So now here back in Android KitKat on the Siswoo i7, and well, let's have a look at the remaining apps. It also comes with a compass, and here we have the compass application. It's not too accurate, so here yeah, north is actually more here to the left than this. We can just also try it like this. North, yeah, actually when you hold it like a real compass, it will probably just point in the correct direction, but it should also work here like this. Yeah, it's quite okay. North is actually in this direction, but I tried it in town and sometimes it was showing the wrong direction, so compass probably not too accurate. We can just have a look here at some other apps, also Google Apps, everything pre-installed, the Play Store, Gmail, so you don't have to worry about that. Here you can see also Google Maps. And the phone really works with all the apps in the Play Store, so only if a sensor is missing you would have to have for the app, then it's maybe not working, but really you don't get unsupported phone like on some older China phones, for instance. SIM toolkit not really unsupported, so this is currently bugged. And also it's rooted, so I have super user, actually the Chinese King user on there, and it works pretty good. You can root it with iRoot in just a couple of minutes, so very easy to root, and I don't think that you will lose warranty in the most shops for that, because you can easily unroot that. Okay guys, so that are basically all the important apps here. Then I would say let's quickly test out the torch, because I want to see how bright the dual LED flash is. So here's a quick LED flash test on the Siswoo i7, and there we go, here's the torch app. And well, it's okay, but it's not too bright. You can just check this out, and it hurts a bit in my eyes when I look into it. And you can see it's not a dual LED flash, it's actually just a single LED flash with a bigger hole. That means here you can see the LED very strong here, but the upper part there's actually nothing, because it's only one LED, even though it looks like dual LED. But yeah, the flash is okay. We can just capture a photo, but probably for photos at night, so in totally dark areas it's maybe a bit too weak, except for close-ups. So there we go. Come on, capture. That app is a bit slow here in the darkness. You can see the camera then also starts to lag a bit, but that's pretty common. And if you check out the photo, you can see it's still very dark here outside, so the LED flash is really not the best, but it's okay and it's working. Okay, so here's a quick GPS test in the GPS test application, and we get here a accuracy of 8 feet. Now today, actually the last 3 days, it is and was very cloudy. So you can see there are some satellites and they are gray. That means actually very bad signal, not even connected. Sometimes they then turn red or yellow, and that means actually very bad signal. And some of them, as you can see, they are green. That means very good signal, so everything over 30 to 40 or over 40 is very, very good. And yeah, we have 18 satellites in view and 11 in use. From the satellites in view, it comes pretty close to my Galaxy S6, because my Galaxy S6 reaches 22, and that's actually a lot. Here we have 18 and 11 in use. Sorry, the road is very shaky. But yeah, GPS is working. The GPS signal here could be better in my opinion. There could be much more green and yellow satellites, because I've seen some MTK 6752 chipsets with way better GPS signal here in the GPS test application. Anyway, we'll now go and just do a quick navigation test in Sidechick to see if GPS is lagging behind. So I would say let's get started and let's do it. So here's just a quick navigation test with Sidechick on the Siswoo Cooper i7, and well, GPS works actually pretty good, even though the GPS signal in the GPS test application was average or below average. But that's probably because it's very cloudy today, and also the last 3 days it was very cloudy, you couldn't see the sun, and I guess GPS signal will be way better when you have very good weather. But anyway, GPS is working. As you can see, it shows you always on the roads, not off the road, and also when roads are very close together it shows you the correct ones. That works pretty good. The only things I've noticed is when you stand at traffic lights for about 1 minute or longer, then it can happen that it shows you in the wrong direction, like backwards or to the left or something, because the compass is not really accurate, and yeah, then just loses the direction in which you're going. But that's not a huge problem in my opinion, because when you start driving the first 5-10 meters, it catches back the signal and shows you in the correct direction. The next thing is rerouting. Rerouting takes longer because, well, on GPS not so accurate. For instance, same application, different phone like Galaxy S6 Edge, GPS is working really awesome. It reroutes me in 3 seconds, and here sometimes 20 seconds until it shows you in the correct position. So this can be a bit annoying in town, like here in Vienna, but I have to say GPS here in Austria, so Central Europe, is working really good on the Siswoo Cooper i7. Oh yeah, so we're now here at the end of the Siswoo Cooper i7, and here comes my conclusion about the smartphone. I think the Siswoo Cooper i7 is really not bad, so it's a octa-core phone for a low price. Only the camera could be better, the dual LED flash, but the design is very solid, it's stable, the display looks great, the battery lifetime in my opinion could be better, so for very hard Android users you should probably get something with a bigger battery, but it's not too bad for medium or slight users. All in all, I really enjoyed testing it, but I have to be honest, this is my first Siswoo smartphone. A friend of mine has the R8, maybe I can borrow it to do a review for you, it would be really cool I think. And I think it's also cool that a lot of Chinese companies now try to offer octa-core phones for a very low price. So you can see it retails between $130 and $150 euro, depends from where you buy it from, and it's actually not a bad phone. But I just don't like that notification ring there, because this is really constantly on. I have to switch it off afterwards. And tomorrow, guys, we're going to check out the Ulefone B Touch. I'm already very excited on how it will perform, because it really looks a lot like the iPhone at the first look. Then the design is very cool, and yeah, it's very powerful, but I already noticed that the build quality in some ways is a bit shit, at least on this model here. But well, we'll see how it performs tomorrow. Once again, the Siswoo i7 here is really not a bad device for $150. If you can get it cheaper, it's even more better, and just the camera here, in my opinion, was the worst part. But the performance and everything, well, pretty good. Okay guys, then now, thank you so much for watching, have a nice day, see you again in my next videos, and bye bye!